Good evening, everybody. This is Jackie from Jack Gets Lost in a Book Hole, and tonight I thought I would do the bedtime book tag. I don't know who originally created this, but I will find it. I will post it on my video. So here it goes. Oh, and I'm in my Mickey Mouse PJs. These have become one of my favorite pairs of PJs. I also have this nice little blanket that, actually, this blanket came with a set of pajamas that my grandma bought me. That were these gray and orange, I think, it's a gray top with orange pants. Which it's more for like winter, fall PJs. And it came with a free blanket, which was nice, and it's very comfortable. So, okay. So here goes the bedtime book tag. Question number 1. A book that kept you up all night. Now I'm going to say this book a lot, probably quite a few times in this, but I'm kind of obsessed with this right now. But Akamath, A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. So basically this book, I could not stop reading it. I had to keep going. And, the last night, and on May 1st into May 2nd, I was going to wait because I tried to fall asleep at least at midnight. But I had to keep reading to the next chapter. And I was just enjoying it so much. And I couldn't stop reading it. I did try to stop and take breaks in between and just savor what I read, but I just couldn't help it, and I will probably do a reread, but I'm going to wait a little while before I reread that trilogy, which, well, although it's not technically a trilogy, it's still a series, because I know she's going to write more books, but they're more, going to be companion series that have to do with all the other characters, those are ACOWAR was the last book from Freya's point of view about, basically her story, so now we'll get some stories on other characters like Lucian and Nesta and Elaine, and I'm very excited about that. But Akamath, A Court of Mist and Fury was the one that kept me up all night. Okay, question number 2. A book that you read that made you afraid to go to sleep. Okay, honestly, I don't have a book for this. I thought I could think of one, but I couldn't. I couldn't think of a book that, that scared me that much. I mean, I was gonna say, maybe just say Carrie or something, but no, I don't even think that one really did that. I did feel a little bit of creepy vibes, especially since at the time when I read it, I was living down in the basement of my old house. But no, it's just that, but even then, I don't think that really had an effect on me in that way, or that much of an effect. Because really, it's movies and TV shows and miniseries that could do that. Like sometimes with stuff like It or Rose Red, which, I'm not saying, now, of course, I am reading the book, and there is a book, and I'm reading the book It, but but it was a long time ago that I read the first book, so I don't really remember. And I'm in the middle of reading the second book. But I don't know if it will scare me enough, because it's so much to read, and there's so much information on all the characters and stuff. So I don't know if it will keep me up all night, or not up all night, but it will scare me that much, so I'll be afraid to go to sleep. Who knows, maybe it will. Okay, question number 3. A book that puts you to sleep. I don't have an answer for this one either. I've never been, I guess I could say that, there are books that, I'm reading in the middle of the night, when I'm in bed and getting ready to go to sleep, but it's not because the book itself puts me to sleep, it's just because I am super tired. I'm already tired and exhausted and ready to fall asleep, and I'm just reading the book to, lull me to sleep. Not because it's not good or anything, but just because, if you're tired enough that any book can put you to sleep. And I don't mean it as in the book is boring or not good, or, I just mean that it's just, it just adds to your tiredness because you have to because I think you get more sleepy when you have to concentrate on something. Like yesterday on the way home from my little vacation, I was reading. I was trying to finish up Murder on the Orient Express and I was still super tired, and I kind of got up early because I thought I would have to, and like I could hear because like the way I was staying with my grandmother, and the way her house is set up is like it's one, it's like it's almost ranch style, I think. And it's like basically one floor. I mean, there is a bonus room, but I don't live up. We all live downstairs. No one really lives upstairs in the bonus room. I mean, my grandma's had family members stay at her house, and they will live up there, but I've never stayed up there. I mean, I think my sister and her husband have, and I think my parents have stayed upstairs before, but I've never done that. So I could hear what was going on downstairs. The rooms were right next to each other, so my dad already got up early because my grandma was having someone come over to check out the house about something, and she wanted my dad there to help her out with that, so he got up early, and so I ended up getting up early, so I was still I was still very tired when I finally got in the car, and then we ate a big full hearty breakfast, so I kind of got into a bit of a food coma, and I was just, so I was kind of already tired, and, so, I mean, it wasn't that the book, A Murder on the Orient Express, was boring, it was just, I was already still really tired from the night before, so, and I think I might have actually stayed up a little bit, I think I stayed up a little bit later, because my parents, I was kind of anticipating my parents, because it was like they had dropped me off at my grandma's house, and then they went on their own little vacation, like a second honeymoon kind of thing. So I was kind of anticipating their return. So, and then and they didn't get here until 11. And like I said, I tried to go to bed at 12 most of the time, but because I was waiting for them, I wanted to stay up a little bit. I didn't want to go to bed right away, so I stayed up a little bit later than usual. So basically, I was tired the next morning. So it's not that the book put me to sleep, it's just I was already tired, and with a book you have to concentrate on it, and this was one of those books with the small print, well, not super small, but still small enough, and that's, having to concentrate on that can put me to sleep. So, no specific book has really ever put me to sleep, but, I've read books to where I'm already starting to fall asleep, or I feel tired, and then they do that. So question number 4. What book has you tossing and turning in anticipation of its new release? Okay, this question, I wrote it in present, it's in present tense, but the book that I was anticipation for its new release, like, I don't have anyone presently. There are some, like, the King Killer Chronicles, the third book in that. There's probably others that I can think of. I just can't think of them right now because a lot of times I'm behind, and well, I guess one thing is I'm super excited about the Kale book because Kale is one of my favorite characters in Throne of Glass series, despite his douchebaggery that he did in the Crown of Midnight, or Heir of Fire, Crown of Midnight, because I agree what he did was stupid in that book, but he's still my favorite, although I haven't read Queen of Shadows, so I might not like him in Queen of Shadows, but the way people react towards him, but I might like him, I might not. But I guess I'm kind of anticipating the Kale book, although I'm behind in that series. I still, like I said, I still haven't read Queen of Shadows yet. Queen of Shadows yet. But the answer I put down for this one is Akawar. Like I said, I am obsessed with this series. I prefer this over, although I love Throne of Glass series still, I still love it. I know that a lot of people by book 4 or book 3, they start to not like as much. I still enjoy it. But I was kind of obsessing over AquaWar and everything, and I cannot wait. So, and like I said, I got it on May 2nd, as soon as it came out. But I was just, the night before May 1st, I could not sleep. My mind was still on at the moment, still thinking about all these things about the book and everything, what was happening, and I ended up waking up. I couldn't fall asleep, so I ended up getting up at like around 2, turning on my lamp and just keeping reading because I was almost done, and hoping that someone will take me to Books A Million the next day to get the next book. But I was super excited about that book, and especially with how this one ended on such a huge cliffy. Akamath did, and I just could not wait for AquaWar. So that's the book that got me tossing, the release that kept me tossing and turning all night. Question number 5, your dream boyfriend. Okay, so I tried, again, not to mention the ACOTAR series, a character from that one, but I couldn't help it. So, and I didn't want to say historical fiction guy anymore, because a lot of times that's my go-to answer for questions about, like, dream boyfriend. I would have said that, but I decided to go ahead and say Rhysand from ACOTAR. I totally love him. I was kind of curious about him and everything in ACOTAR, in A Court of Thorns and Roses, but I wasn't. I think now, reading it again, I probably get more excited when he shows up in the book. And in the last book, I didn't agree. He was kind of I thought he was kind of a jerk, an asshole. Forgive me, but I didn't realize that there was a purpose and that he was trying to help. I didn't feel. Granted, he wasn't including it because he did genuinely help her, but I didn't realize fully the risk he was taking to help. I did, but I didn't. It's complicated. It's hard to explain because I was all for, I was all accepting. I wasn't a huge fan of Tamlin. I was like, okay, but, it's like, how about him? But he was the love interest. So, of course, naturally, I was rooting for him because he was Freya's love and everything. So, and I just thought, oh, Rhysand is one of those pervy jerks. But it turns out he's the sweetest guy ever, and him and Freya are, the two of them are mates, and I love them, and if he wasn't made with Freya, I would so date him. Of course, there are also a lot of other guys I would date, and I think if I thought about this a little bit more, then I probably could come up with another answer for a dream boyfriend, and maybe one day I will, I'll redo this one, but for right now, I'm going to say him. Okay. Question number 6. A book world that would be a nightmare to live in. I said Westeros. Because Westeros is basically based on the medieval world of our world. So you have people dying, people don't live that long. People are dying of old, dying quickly. The hygiene is horrible. The food really sucks, and there's no technology. And everybody's fighting for the Iron Throne, and you could die not just of disease, but also of just going to war and, getting body parts chopped off, and, someone could just stab you, literally, and, women are arranged to marry, and, because for political reasons, it will be lucky if, just like in the real medieval society, you'll be lucky if you, love your spouse. Poor Sansa. I would not want to be her. And it's just, and on top of that, you have to worry about White Walkers. So, just Westeros would be the nightmare world that I would not want to live in. As much as I enjoy watching it, I would not. I would love to visit it if you could visit a fantasy world, but I would not want to live there. And I probably wouldn't stay that long because you never know. Unless you have someone to protect you, you're dead. You could die. Okay, question number 7. A book that reminds you of nighttime. Okay, I said Interview with a Vampire because, well, the obvious, it's about a vampire. And the vampire is telling, this guy in modern day LA, about his life and everything, how he became a vampire, and important moments in his life, his relationship with Lestat, his creator, the one who created him and everything, and of course, Anne Rice goes with the traditional thing of vampires can't go out at night. I know a lot of YA novel vampires that they find a way for them to go out at night or go out during the day, but Anne Rice sticks to more traditional approach with her vampires. So so that's basically that's one makes me think of nighttime because it mostly takes place at night. Okay. Question number 8. A book with a nightmare cliffhanger. Okay, I'm gonna mention it again. I'm sorry. But according to Mist and Fury, that cliffhanger drove me crazy. That's why I couldn't wait. Normally I wait for the next book because it would be in hardback and paperback is cheaper and everything. But I can wait, and who knows how long it will be before the paperback comes out. Paperbacks take forever to come out, which is really annoying. But I know it's a marketing thing, a marketing tool. But I just couldn't wait. I just had to get it. I had to get it because of that cliffhanger. I had to get ACOWAR, according to Wings of Ruin. I couldn't wait. But that cliffhanger, I hate that cliffhanger. I hated the choice that Freya made. I knew she had to make that choice. But just, the torture of having to, the fear of that spoiler alert, Rhysand and Freya's bond, the possibility that it was broken. And then realizing that she had to pretend that she was under a spell and that she isn't really Rhys's mate and that she had to go back. And poor Elaine and Nesta having to be fairies, and that was the last thing they hate fairies. Although granted, it's also at the same time I think it's a good thing too because now they can be badass fairies like their sister. And they get to live forever. But, of course, the last thing they wanted was to become fairies because they've heard such horrible things about fairies. They don't trust fairies. They hate fairies. And, unfortunately, they became fairies. Not of their own free will. They were forced into it. They didn't get to choose it. They were kidnapped and forced to become fae. But who knows? Maybe one day the both of them will be like, you know what? Actually, you did me a favor. Because, I have to be fairy now, but, I'm immortal now, and I have these powers and stuff, and I'm eternally beautiful and all that kind of stuff. So, it's like being a vampire, there's a lot of perks to being a vampire, although I would rather be fae than a vampire. Okay, but anyway, I'm getting off track here. So, yes, that cliffhanger where Nesta and Elaine become vampires, and Freya has to go to the sprinkle, pretends that she was under some kind of spell, and you think their mating bond is broken. That is so. It's like, oh my god, no! And, having to pretend that she loves Tamlin still was, made me cringe, and that, and of course you could tell that Lucian had figured it out, that he realized that Freya was playing them. And so I had to read the next book. I couldn't wait. Hence why I was tossing and turning in anticipation because I didn't know when I would be able to go to get the book. I kind of had to wait until my grandma and my mom were ready to run their errands, then I could get the book. Okay, so, but I hated that cliffhanger. Okay. Question number 9, a book you dream about. I don't dream about books. Just like I don't have a book that that makes me afraid to go to sleep at night, I don't dream about my books. Unless, or if I do, I don't remember my dreams. I don't dream about anything like that. My dreams are kind of random and odd. Nothing really, last night, by the time this video goes up, I'll say that it was Wednesday night into Thursday. I had a dream about the actress that played Darla on Buffy. I do not know why I had a dream about her. I wasn't even think about the show Buffy, let alone thinking about that actress. But I did. I had a dream about her. Or that's the most that, or at least that I remember. Because who knows? Maybe I just don't remember my dreams. Because I think we all dream all night long. I think we all dream. We just don't. I'm just not one of the people that remembers my dreams all the time. Okay, here's the last question. Okay, we're on to the last question. Question number 10. A creature you wouldn't want to find under your bed. Okay, I said 2. I picked 2 because both of these 2 would be perfect. Okay, I said the Whites. I think that's how you say it. The Whites from Miss Peregrine's Home of Peculiar Children, or It from the book It. The Whites are really creepy. They are so creepy. I would not want to find one of those guys. And they basically suck out your eyeballs, essentially. And the last thing I want is to lose my eyesight. Yes. That's the sense I would hate to lose. One of the 5 senses. And they're just creepy looking and freaky looking, and just I would not want to find one of those things under my bed. And the fact that their eyes are solid white, they have no pupils, is just creepy. Makes them even more creepy. And that one guy, the main guy, I can't remember his name, but he was the leader, and that leader played in the movie was played by Samuel L. Jackson. That guy was crazy. Crazy and evil. I would not want to find one of those under my bed. And then I said It. But you can't really It when It is in the form of Pennywise the Clown. Because I think clowns are creepy. I hate clowns. And, but It is basically it takes the form of whatever you fear most. And I would just, hopefully it would stay in Derry, Maine. Then I could just avoid going to that state. But he takes whatever, it takes the form of whatever you're afraid of. The last thing I want is the whatever I'm most afraid of, to show up under my bed, show up in my room, or whatever. Why wouldn't you be afraid of something that takes the form of whatever you're afraid of? Kind of reminds me, it's basically like the Dementors, because that's what they do. While they're sucking your soul out, they kind of show you what you're most afraid of, or your worst fears, and then you'll never be happy again. But this thing takes on physical forms of everything you're afraid of, just like kind of like the Boggart, a little bit. Also, it's another Harry Potter reference. But you all probably know that, so I probably didn't need to tell you that. And then, like I said, one of its main forms is the creepy clown, and I hate the creepy clown. And if a creepy clown from the sewers offers me a balloon, I'm gonna go run screaming, because I do not want some creepy. If a clown is living in the sewers, something's wrong with him. And that's just plain creepy. So, granted, that was, Georgie was a kid at the time. But still, I'd be like, run! Why are you taking a balloon from some guy who lives in the sewer? I don't care if he's a clown. He lives in the sewer. Why would you take a balloon from him? Why would you trust him? Go run. Don't trust him. Okay. Well, that was the bedtime book tag. I will post the original creator of this tag. And I hope you guys enjoy my bedtime book tag video. Alright. Thank you. Bye, everybody.